Hello, dear listeners. In this video today, I will talk about Canada. So we have a very difficult situation. We are going to political crisis right now, and I would like to dedicate this video some of the suggestions, the ideas that could be done. We could have some sort of the Canadian version of the DOGE, well, because the system needs to be improved, and I'm going to share my ideas in this video. One about the government employees, how they can be relocated, and how they can become, the productive, make lots of productive labor suddenly available. Some ideas. It's not the absolute truth, but it's something that I think could help. And the second thing, because we in the housing crisis and the conversion of the buildings of the government buildings, I would like to also tackle in the second part of the video into this. Okay, but first, what is happening right now in Canada, and what's Pierre Poilievre has to say about this?
Musa with CBC News. And Mr. Poilievre, if you could also answer this question in French as well as English. The government is coming out with a $1.3 billion plan to address border security. Do you think that's enough to stop Trump's tariffs? And if it was up to you, how much specifically would you spend on border security? What number would you put on it?
Well, you ask a classically CBC question, which is how much money can you spend on a problem? Well, that's the wrong question. That's exactly the question Trudeau has been asking for 9 years. It's the reason he's doubled our debt while making everything worse. So, for example, he spent $80 billion on housing affordability. Well, how'd that work? He doubled housing costs. He spent $60 million on his gun confiscation. 0 guns. He spent millions on a school food program that hasn't served a single solitary meal. So we should not judge a program based on how expensive we can make it. We should judge it by what it can do. How many helicopters? How many drones? How many boots on the ground? That's the question I will be asking when I'm Prime Minister. And how do we deliver it for the lowest possible price to taxpayers? Wouldn't it be nice if we had a Prime Minister who said, we secured the borders, we put more boots on the ground, we stopped tons and tons of fentanyl from traveling back and forth, we arrested the terrorists, we shut down the organized crime, we reduced gun crime, and by the way, we did it with less tax dollars. That's how our mentality has to change. We have to stop judging politicians by how expensive they can make things and start judging them by the results they get. You went into a restaurant and had a terrible experience, the food was awful, you got food poisoning, the service was bad, you wouldn't walk out and say, but it was great because it cost me $1,000. And because it's the most expensive restaurant around, it must be the best. No, we judge the meal by the food on the plate and the service that delivered it. That's how I'm going to run a common sense conservative government.
To be productive and efficient. That's what my first suggestion. We have to focus on the solution. Like there is lots of video about the problems, but let's focus about the solution. How about we create the job site where is all the government workers, because a lot of work is temporary, and if you have to pay people according to the task, so you complete the task, you get paid, you complete something, you get paid, you complete something to get paid, and then people could bid on them, and then they get rating, a little bit like eBay here. Okay, so let's say there is a task are posted, and I do and complete certain task, and then I get rating, and I can get a rating as who creates. I could create the task, or I could do the task, and all the ratings stays here. Like if I had in the past negative ratings for the saver and like a seller, and I had the problem, it stays forever with my profile. So each government worker, they could integrate potentially the workforce and do some work locally. Let's say if locally we need people like to babysit the children, to look after older people, or it could be high-end professional service, like somebody could be a lawyer and post their service, and people could be all kinds of people could be in this national workforce, temporary workforce website, and you don't have to tax them. The labor. Let's say if you work and you do some task through this. It could be tax free, and it's all transparent, and we know which worker complete how many tasks and what kind of rating he get, and other things like if I go here, it's a site, it's an American website that I've been using for years. You have teachers here, okay, so I've been using, let's say, English teacher right now $7 per hour. I tried a couple teachers here that I didn't retain, but I've been using this. It's a Ukrainian teacher for maths for my children for years. $6 per hour. I've been using this guy for a while, and I've been using those French teachers from Congo. They teach French at $7 per hour, and I've been using the music teacher here, and they all have a rating, and they are in a competitive environment. So if I research for something, I can see how much ratings who got and how much they charge and compared to other people, and and the payment is go through the website. So ideas create the temporary workforce, and everybody can apply. There is so much work available, and people will be posting tasks there, and the task will be completed. And the government working, if they have to by law be part of this website and do just get paid according to what they accomplish and get proper ratings, and everybody could integrate into the website, and we can have a constantly growing workforce and do things according to the priorities, because we can prioritize the things in a certain community and pay more for them. At certain times, certain job could be paid more. If there is more labor available, this could be the same task could be paid less, and so forth. So we increase in efficiency, and more things gets done. So the second thing, it's a housing crisis. Okay, so we're talking about the conversion of the buildings into the housing. How quickly? Let's say we say it's a national emergency. We we have enemy at the gate. And if we don't do something in 3 days, we're all gonna die. This is about New York.
To actually get housing built in our city.
If we have zoning rules and other impediments which are keeping housing from being constructed, shame on us, especially when you are so seriously seeing people suffering in New York.
Anyway, there's some ideas. I'm not the expert in conversion of the commercial being into residential, but I went and I started watching, and there is lots of paperwork and this. But if we attack, we get the best ideas. Let's look at those American entrepreneurs who converted schools to residential, for example. It's a big challenge, but let's listen.
You'll notice the 12-foot high ceilings, the original porcelain crown molding, the terrazzo floors, and the 10-foot wide hallways.
Probably the most dramatic feature of Bowtie High. This is the original auditorium. We restored this space pretty much from ruin. All of the plaster was failing, and we rebuilt that, kept all of the original flooring in the space. Everything's been professionally furnished. This old bookshelf came from the space, and we were able to incorporate that back into the auditorium.
Here's the gymnasium. On this side, we did free weights and cardio equipment. We decided to put up this scrim netting to kind of make the space not so large. There was bleachers on the left and bleachers on the right that we converted to storage units. And we wanted to leave the original basketball court here. Tenants are allowed to come, use this and shoot anytime they want.
Welcome to the 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 750 square foot apartment. When you first walk in, you're gonna see that we're gonna flow into the kitchen here. We have quartz countertops, we have white subway tile. Also, you're gonna see custom open shelving. We have stainless steel appliances, and this L-shaped kitchen allows to really maximize the space.
You get the point. There is entrepreneurs who took the building school, which is very hard to convert to residential, in my opinion. But they did the miracle, and we have certainly those entrepreneurs in Canada. We have Canadian Elon Musk and Vivex, but this is the challenge of the commercial buildings, like the permits and how fast you can do. And but if we treat this, we take the best experience. We just look what has been done around the world, and we take best out of it. And in the 30 days we could start doing working on the projects. If we treat it like a way it's a national emergency. Like people have no place to live. There is 35 years old living with the parents and so on. And well, I'm a father of 5 children, and I'm very concerned how their future about the house affordability. It's a combine ideas and do amazing things in the short periods of time, as long as the government is willing. And we use the technology. We could use the internet. We can use the ideas. In the 5-10 minutes, I can gather all the information without knowing nothing about. In hours, I can have a good ideas what what's the challenges about the converting commercial building into the housing it is. So as certain people, they have much more experience, they could like grow their knowledge much faster. So that's the ideas, and that's the what I think that's the future government could do. And I would like to have an open forum here how we can save Canada, under these videos. I'm gonna do a series of videos as a suggestions to the government, and people could participate and share the ideas, and eventually we could save this beautiful country for ourselves and for our children. Thanks for watching, and please comment.